We're back. Tobago Sports Live, we're back. We brought you live action from the cricket pitch, from the football fields,
from the pools,
from the tennis courts,
yes,
from the track. And now we're in studio.
For the very first time.
Yes, Tobago Sports Live Weekly Roundup. I'm Clayton Clark, and I'll be one of your hosts for this program. You would have seen me presenting at numerous programs that we have carried live all across Tobago, and I'm joined by Orlin Lincoln.
A pleasant good night to all of you tonight.
And Orlin is one of the backbone behind Tobago Sports Live. She served many hats, but more importantly as one of our camera persons. And for those of you who do not know, she is also a referee. And in 2019, she was voted the top assistant referee on the island.
Yes. And to all my students, because I'm also a physical education teacher, so all my students, a pleasant good night to you.
So we are back after a delay. We all know why. We have made it. We are live. We are thankful. And in our first edition, Weekly Roundup, we're just going to take a little recap of some of the sporting activities that were to take place, that were taking place before the coronavirus came in and just disrupted our lives.
Yes, and put us on lockdown. We all had to stay home, which is not usually something that is hard for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. We usually enjoy that time off.
Well, for some people, some of us who don't stay home. But you know, it was an interesting time during that period. We saw some of the creativity of our sportsmen.
Definitely.
We saw some of them trained, so they sent us videos of their training. We also had them doing all of these tricks and drills.
Yes, they had different challenges out. We saw Brian and his boys doing that toilet paper challenge. We had them juggling that toilet paper.
That was one of the first ones.
That was one of the first challenges we put out there.
And then we had with the table tennis,
yes,
the cricket with the balls. Yes, and we were just passing the ball along.
Yes.
And then some of them sent videos of how to train and keep fit during the coronavirus, and those experiences really helped us and carried us through this period. And we are here today, and as many of you know, as of this week, sporting activities are set to resume with a little restrictions. No team sports.
Yes.
Sorry, no gathering, no crowds. So we're going to be seeing a lot of the events. Sports are opening up, and some have announced. We see cycling doing their virtual cycling. Football is going to make an announcement shortly. Tennis have started with their distancing with their guidelines. And one thing with the kids, no school, so we're not going to be seeing any kids sports until school reopens.
Yes, because it's harder to keep children, to give them that type of restriction. How are you going to keep these children in check? They haven't seen each other for so long. They haven't played together for so long. How are you going to keep them in check? It's going to be harder than keeping the adults. Even the adults can't control themselves sometimes. So how is it are we going to keep the children away from each other? So I think it's the safest thing.
Yes, and we saw in some of the European competitions started back, and there were strict guidelines as to how to celebrate. Normally you score a goal, you hug and you jump on one another back and all of those things. We have gotten accustomed to. We are seeing a change where not so much embracing and getting too close. The new normal as we are getting accustomed to. So today we're going to be taking a look at some of the events, as I mentioned, but we want to say thanks to all of you viewers, listeners who have been with us over the past 2 years.
Yes.
Tobago Sports Live, evolving sports in Tobago, checking in, sharing our page, liking us, and just spreading the word, which we are humbled and honored to have brought into your homes, into your spaces. And I mentioned sports resuming no crowds. Well, you can rely on Tobago Sports Live to bring the sport to you. Because as you're aware, some of the, particularly team sports, no crowds, empty stadiums, we're going to see how that's going to work out.
Yes.
So we are getting ready, our weekly roundup, and we want to say thanks to all efforts that went into ensuring we are here this evening.
Yes.
And one of the first sports that was affected was primary school cricket.
Primary school cricket.
So we were there at Bonaccord, Canaan Bonaccord, getting ready for the launch of the cricket. We were planning all week. And then the day before, release from the ministry, advising against schools gathering. So we had the cricketers showed up, no kids to cheer on.
Yes.
And fortunately,
empty pavilion.
Fortunately, we still had a match. Wim and Likan, one of the powerhouses of cricket and sports in the primary school level. They played an all-star
An
team.
all-star team, yes. Different students, a couple students from different schools across Tobago.
And how hilarious was that?
That was quite something, guys. I don't know if you all saw the video. If not, you can check on our page. But that was one of the funniest plays in history, I think, in Tobago history. That was really hilarious.
And then we had basketball. Basketball was in that secondary school basketball. They got underway in February, and after a full month of action, coronavirus and Bishops dominating in the under 17, nearly all the division, 4 divisions, Bishops High School, and we're going to keep you up to date as to what's going to happen, if they're going to declare a winner with the aborted schedule. So we had basketball.
But don't worry, we'll definitely keep you updated on that.
Yes.
From the time we get information, we'll definitely be putting it out there. So you guys, you don't need to worry. Tobago Sports Life has your back.
And then netball. Well, most of the netball competitions were finished. We had Tobago doing well at the secondary and the secondary school level, the shooting competition and the actual zonal competitions. Primary school was supposed to start after SEA. So primary school netball, that is. The opening was held at Roxborough.
Yes.
But the opening is usually earlier. They allow SEA students to complete. So that's more or less suffered because of Corona. We're going to wait and see if they're going to have anything at all, or they're going to just wait for the new year.
We definitely cannot forget our netballers who made the national team, and for the first time, they were training on their home grounds by our very own Kemba Duncan, the national assistant coach.
And that is something that we should take, as a stride, a success, because even just going to Trinidad to train, and that's not just the cost, but the inconvenience. You're not on your familiar territory, familiar training ground. Those in Trinidad, they are much at home. And I know some of the persons, wouldn't call him, have been fighting for that.
Yes.
And they train, I understand, 2 days here, and they go down probably once a month to meet with the other players in Trinidad.
And I think that is great progress.
Yes, that's
where
under
sports
16.
is concerned. Having our national players being able to train at home, I think that is great progress.
Yes, and given the success we have been having at the secondary school level, primary school too, because Blackrock are the defending national primary school champions. Yes. And then it's on to football. We had a couple tournaments set to start in July, the youth football.
The youth football. But just again, because of the clarifications set by the Ministry of Health, they could not proceed with starting that competition.
And then we had the Mariah Village League. Well, Community League. Mariah, the only one that's... Well, we featured it. We featured Mariah quite a lot. We had Bethel. And we wait to see what's with the revised schedule. We understand Mariah is due to start on July 15th.
Yes, July 15th, restart.
And then we had archery. We had Sharisa Irvin, her kids need golf tournament. That was set for March 26th, and just speaking with her earlier today, she's going to announce the new date. And she is about a clinic health exposure golf to young kids, and so we're going to keep up to date to that.
I remember her speaking to me about that tournament, and I was really excited because Khaled also plays golf, so we wanted to get him involved in that as well. So we were really excited about it, and then came the lockdown. So unfortunately,
and then we had swimming, because what happened, we had quite a few of our our Tobago swimmers on the national team all set to head off to Carifta swimming over the Easter weekend.
Yes.
The plane never left. We have CISC, that's the Caribbean Island Swimming Championship, that includes Cuba and Puerto Rico, the traditional Caribbean countries, that usually held in July. That is off as well. Then we also had triathlon Rainbow Cup.
One thing I think we forgot to mention is swimming is still closed. It's closed to the public.
Okay, the pools.
Yeah, the pools, it's still shut down.
Yes, I can imagine with all the issue of
Yes.
the virus in the
I don't
water.
think that I'm not sure.
I'm Clayton Clark along here with my host, Orlin Lincoln. We also had tennis. Well, while we didn't have many tournaments in Tobago, we know Tobagonians go down, participate in numerous tournaments in Trinidad.
Yes.
And many of them were grounded, so to speak, because tournaments in Trinidad cancel. And Tobago usually do well at tennis, the Tobago players. We also had the C2C Marathon,
Yes.
relatively new event as well, over the weekend, May, June. You have
And
the
it's an
5K, you have the half
international
marathon.
run. Yeah.
Quite a big event finishing there at
And a lot of
32 Bay.
people usually look forward to that. We usually have visitors from all over.
Yes, well promoted, well advertised.
promoted, yes. It has been postponed, not cancelled
Yes.
for this year, fortunately. It is set to come off sometime in November. Right? I don't think we have a tentative date just yet. Once
Yes.
again, we'll definitely keep you informed on that. But sometime in November, do expect the C2C Marathon to get sent off.
And then we had the goat race, Tobago's goat race.
And crab race.
I was actually in Easter at Buku just before Easter, and you really felt something was missing. I mean, when you think of Tobago and Buku,
Yes.
I mean, it was really something. That's our thing. And we...
Around that time, Tobago is usually buzzing.
Yes.
It's usually buzzing,
Some
and
of
the
the,
place
some
was
of
so
the businessmen
quiet.
told us that that's where they make all the money for,
Yes.
for the year. So you're viewing Tobago Sports Live Weekly Roundup. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
Looking for deck pans? No more trips to Trinidad for deck pans. Richards Hardware is now manufacturing deck pans right here in Tobago. Cut to any length and same day delivery. We also supply premixed concrete for residential and commercial use. Line pump and boom pump available. Also in stock. Pressure treated lumber, Best Creek concrete blocks, hollow clay blocks, BRC, steel, sand, gravel, and all other hardware supply. Corner Milford Road and Orange Hill. Or call us at 310-1289 635 0169 or 683-8250. We meet all your needs at the lowest prices.
Welcome back. You're viewing Tobago Sports Live, our weekly roundup.
Yes.
And this is our first edition. We have been out in the fields, and now we are in the comfort of a studio. You see, we're well dressed up and all maked up and powdered for the day. So we were looking just before the break at some of the events that were cancelled and
Affected because of the lockdown here.
Yes, and we had track and field, and we had history created this year. The National Secondary School Championships came just before the announcement of the coronavirus, and was a big event, the largest turnout. And that's the day before we had cricket. So imagine a day or two made a big difference. And also track and field, the Falcon Games usually held over the weekend before Easter. That was cancelled. We had quite a few athletes who would have gone down for the National Primary School Championships.
Yes.
We had all our zonals, our 5K leading to the National 5K. And then we had Carifta Games. Athletes were selected and were training.
Yes.
And then we had World Juniors, which was due for Kenya this year. Quite a few of our athletes made it qualifying standard and had to
I think
just
this
stay at home.
lockdown really put a damper on a lot of our sporting events, as we just had to basically shut down. I mean, yes, everything was affected, but imagine these athletes who have been training for so long, have been basically preparing for so long, for how many years, it doesn't matter how many years, how many months, whatever it is, they have been preparing their body, their minds, everything for so long, and then just the lockdown just took all of that away.
And what is interesting with the junior athletes, I mean, you're competing in age groups. So
Yes.
sometimes if you miss this year, you move up to another age group, you're out of school. So you sometimes feel you miss a chance. But that's why it's
yes.
important for, I mean, our coaches. And I was reading about this seminar they're having just now in terms of the mental. How do you help athletes deal with the mental challenges now of getting back into sports after months of inactivity or limited activity? So we don't want to talk about it, but we all have been hit, either by the left side, the right side, in the back, by this corona
Somewhere.
thing. Yes, on the head.
I am not, because I am, as Clayton said before, I am also a referee, and referees have to be very fit. And this corona has had us on such a lockdown.
Yes.
We were unable to train to the intensity that we are supposed to be training. So when it is we do start back training, I know I'm in for a couple weeks of pain.
Well, I remember even with one of these leagues, and they were advising players and coaches
Yes.
to remember that you weren't active for a couple of months, so be careful of the expectations.
Yes.
You're eager to go out, but you have to be mindful you have not been active.
Yes.
So we're gonna get, that's another aspect of the corona, the post-corona. How do you prepare, what have you? So our weekly roundup, and we're gonna be looking at some of the upcoming events, and we want to thank you, our viewers. Thank you very much, those of you joining on Facebook, Tobago Sports Life, our first edition of weekly roundup. And we're going to be getting back into the field, you know. You're not going to see us here. We have to bring you the action.
Of course, definitely.
The idea of this roundup, we're going to be reviewing the past week, looking at the week ahead, speaking with some of the athletes, the officials.
Some of the coaches.
Yeah, so we get to meet them close up.
You get insights on what they're doing, what they
Yes.
plan to do. You can ask them whatever questions you want. You could send your comments. We'll ask the questions, you know.
And now we have webinars, Zoominar, all kind of things that we could communicate. So we're going to be using the different media that came up as a result of coronavirus. And we saw even in like cycling, for example, they're using a software where they can compete virtually or in isolation. And I saw also there, just before the lockdown ended, some of the top athletes, like they were doing pole vault in their backyard, make it competitive, see who could jump, clear, how many heights. And then I understand some of the masters athletes, they're doing shot put virtually. So it has really brought out the creativity and
I know about the
yes.
cycling. I saw the cycling, which I was very impressed with.
Yes.
I didn't think that they would have been able to pull off a virtual competition.
Yes, well, actually, they do have this software that they use to train.
To train,
Yes,
okay.
so
I got to understand that.
Make it more intercompetitive now.
Okay, so up next we'll have events that you can look forward to. As said before, we have the sporting arena is basically open back up. So we have some events coming up.
And we have our first results. We have in Bishops today. We had events that have happened. I think it was a 5-2 scoreline. Brains versus Muscle. Muscles 5, Brains 3. I don't know how to get the names, but Muscles beat Brains.
Okay.
I leave that there. That's
Coach
at Bishop's High
Goddard,
School.
he
Yes.
was the one that carried out that football game today. You know, he decided to get his boys out there one time, get them back in the action. So he had a football game with them today, and those were the results. So
Right. So we're going to look at upcoming events. Great Race is still on. That's on August 23rd. We actually spoke with the president of the Powerboat Association, and he assured that it's on. The only keepback will be if the government reimposes some of the strict lockdown measures.
yes.
And he said the idea of the boat is only 2 or 3 of them are on the
the boat
vessel,
itself,
and not
yes.
that they're going to be closed. But we did ask the concern about Storby. He said, well, that's not the race, that's the party aspect of it, because you know the idea of congregating. So Great Race is on. We have couple shooting
So you could definitely look
competitions.
forward to that.
Yes, we do. And we know that's a big event in Tobago. And he told us it's going to end this year at Storby. That they had reverted to Storby a couple of years now.
Right.
Yes, we have the Tobago Rifle Association. They're getting back into action up at the range there.
Yes.
And one Mr. Brian Armstrong, he has been doing well nationally. He was actually one of the nominee for the sport at the First Citizen Sports Foundation, our very own Le Petit Bras. I don't know if you know him, a little fella.
Yes, of course I know him.
But when he
I have
aims that
seen that
gun-
man shoot. Yes. I think he's somebody that you need to be afraid of.
And I know there are quite a few guys. Reed was one of them. I'm not sure if he's as active before. And they go to not just in Trinidad and Grenada,
Yes,
Suriname.
I was made to understand that they travel quite a lot.
Yes.
And where competition, I have seen him shoot, and he's fantastic. I cannot recall seeing him miss
Yes.
a
And
shot.
we want to make an appeal to all the sporting clubs. We know many of you had to have your events rescheduled. And we ask you, you can send us a note on our Facebook page.
Yes.
Drop us a message. Our email, Tobago Sportslive @gmail.com. Tell us what's happening, what events that are coming up. And we will keep the public informed. We know we are all eager for sports. And I remember during the lockdown, there was a particular country, Belarus. Who knew about Belarus football because we were so hungry for sports. Belarus football was played every day.
Anything would have been there to quench that thirst. We drank it.
They couldn't even pronounce the name of the players.
Yes.
But so we know people are eager to participate and to watch. And
Any sporting event that we
Tobago
have.
Sports Live, we're going to be bringing you all the action.
Keeping you live with the action.
And we have basketball coming up.
Yes, we have a basketball coming up, a basketball competition coming up, and I'm guessing that because it's 3 persons on the per team on the court at a
Right.
time, so I'm guessing that they are trying to adhere to some of the restrictions.
Right, but this is actually a format used at the youth, some of the international youth competition.
Okay.
Youth Olympics, this was the format used. But of course, yes, to minimize, keep the number of players down. And that tournament is set for August 15th at Shaw Park. We'll keep you up to date.
Yes, and you can get more information on our page. We'll definitely post the flyer for you to see. So you can see how you can register. You can see who you can contact. So if you have a team that you think you could go away with the prize, whatever the prize may be, you can definitely check out our page. We'll have it there.
And the flyer, yes, on our Facebook page, yes. And then we have Bethel Community League. Bethel, one of the better known villages in football with their own ground, big spacious ground. So we're looking forward to that competition somewhere in the summer, July, August.
They don't have a tentative date as yet, but they are set to start somewhere within that time.
And we want to encourage all of these groups. You know how difficult it is now getting support, sponsors.
Yes.
But we have to believe in the power of sport and its ability to transform lives, according to Nelson Mandela.
Yes.
And then we have this Windball Cricket is in Tobago East, up in their Poker.
I'm not sure where it is.
Yes.
We were just informed. We were sent a flyer, so we had to let
it was on,
you guys
pull it
know.
up just now, yes. So that's from August 9th
to September
27th. I'll just get
so
that.
we'll definitely be posting the flyer as well, so you can take a look at that.
All right, that's the Tobago Bash edition,
Yes.
T20, hosted by T10 Poker Play. Be await because even the local footballing body they are working out how their format. Because you know the different sports have been given guidelines
as to how they are going to
operate.
proceed. Yes.
And we spoke we saw an article there. The football clubs are meeting or have met, and they're going to announce shortly the guidelines for their sport.
The tentative time to start is somewhere around September. Usually around now they would have started sometime in July. And a couple of wrongs, but due to the lockdown, they would not have gotten things properly sorted out. So they would have to take time to do that.
And of course, there are some
start.
off the football field matters that are going on now. And may have
I don't know about that. You keep me
no,
out
in
of
terms
that.
of keeping back. No, I'm saying it may affect the administration of the sport at this time.
Okay. Yes.
And
yes.
we mentioned track and field. We understand. We hope that there'll be a change of heart. They have called their season to an end. So we will see what happens then. You're viewing Tobago Sports Live, our first edition weekly roundup. I'm here with Aurelin Lincoln. I'm Clayton Clark, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
Looking for deck pans? No more trips to Trinidad for deck pans. Richards Hardware is now manufacturing deck pans right here in Tobago. Cut to any length and same day delivery. We also supply premixed concrete for residential and commercial use. Line pump and boom pump available. Also in stock. Pressure treated lumber, Best Creek concrete blocks, hollow clay blocks, BRC, steel, sand, gravel, and all other hardware supply. Corner Milford Road and Orange Hill. Or call us at 310-1289 635-0169 or 683-8250. We meet all your needs at the lowest prices. Looking for deck pans? No more trips to Trinidad for deck pans. Richards Hardware is now manufacturing deck pans right here in Tobago. Cut to any length and same day delivery. We also supply premixed concrete for residential and commercial use. Line pump and boom pump available. Also in stock. Pressure treated lumber, Best Creek concrete blocks, hollow clay blocks, BRC, steel, sand, gravel, and all other hardware supply. Corner Milford Road and Orange Hill. Or call us at 310-1289 635 0169 or 683-8250. We meet all your needs at the lowest prices.
Welcome back, viewers. Tobago Sports Live, our first ever weekly roundup show. I'm here with Aurelin Lincoln. I'm Clayton Clark, and we're just going through the paces. We looked at some of the sporting events that had to come to an end, and we're looking to some of the events that are coming up. And we were mentioning some of the sporting activities that have announced, and we are urging you to send in. You can drop us a note, drop us a line on our Facebook page, Tobago Sports Live, or email tobagosportslive@gmail.com. And we know some of you are following us on Facebook. Good evening to all of you. And we're going to
Good evening to all
giving you a
of
shout
you.
out now.
Yes, so we'll take this time to shout out some of the persons that we are seeing online. Richard Goddard, definitely one of our forever fans.
DJ Coach too. Another one,
Yes, DJ Coach. Thank you for logging on. Thank you for constantly supporting Tobago Sports Live. We have Breaker Benjamin. We have Tishon Melville. I hope I pronounced that correctly. George Joseph, Anthony Roy, Kerry Links, the original
Hi,
Tammy,
Anthony.
Claire Cox,
Hi, Claire.
Emlyn Charles David.
Oh, Lord, she in everything sports, I'm like,
Yes, Princess McIntosh. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for the constant support. Thank you for being on. Thank you for everything that you're doing to continue to encourage us to bring you the live sports all across Tobago.
You all are the wind beneath our wings. Thank you very much to our viewers. You don't believe how important it is having you there with us. And we just again want to ask all the sporting bodies to share with us what's happening. And the idea of this show, as we mentioned, we're going to be speaking with our sporting officials and athletes. Yes. We're going to be giving you an idea who's going to be on next week. It's our weekly roundup. We are expanding our program. We have been out in the sun and the rain, and now we're enjoying some cool air condition as we get ready for the upcoming activities. And we just want to say thank you in what languages, in all languages, from the bottom of our hearts, for your support, and particularly for this show.
Yes, the persons that made it possible. We could not do it, guys. We spent this entire week preparing our studio, preparing the equipment. Yes, and very late last night, trying to get this straightened out so that we can bring you this program.
Inaugural edition.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
And we have Tobago Color Shop located at Shore Park, Richards Hardware.
Yes.
Carews Construction.
Yes.
All cool air condition and refrigeration.
Yes.
Tammy's Touch. All our Tobago followers. the Tobago Sports Life team. Those you see here and
those
the many
behind
more
the
behind the
camera.
cameras. The Potter number 1, Potter number 2, and Potter number 3. All our loyal fans, and you too have an opportunity to get on board. You can become a partner with us. We would appreciate you sponsoring our programs, because we do all of this from the love of our hearts and our commitment to the athletes who day in and day out, despite what is happening on the sidelines, in the boardrooms, in the politics, our sportsmen and women continue to do us proud and bring joy to our hearts. Even in defeat, even in disappointment, they motivate us and inspire us.
Yes, definitely.
So we want to be able to bring it, but we need your support. We need your support. We have been investing our time and commitment, and we just need your support. And next week, we're going to be having some more. So we're going to let you know what's happening next week. Tobago Sports Live, our weekly roundup. It's the first ever edition. And we have some events coming up here. Black Panthers FC, barbecue, and a female tournament.
Nice.
Down in September 24th. That's Republic Day. I think we went to something up at, yes, with Barbecue Jewel. They had their
Jubilee.
awards and exhibition match. Was quite interesting, quite fun.
Okay.
The barbecue was good too. And
So-
it's the second tournament. There's Black Panthers. That's
Yes, Black
another
Panthers.
all-female,
I think
yes.
last year they were at Jubilee Park.
Yes,
I think I
yes,
refereed
yes.
at that competition. It was quite successful. Listen, our girls here have talent. And Coach Donny, I must say you are doing a great job with these girls.
Yes.
Right?
All
This
those
is
primary
definitely
school,
one to look
yes,
forward
because
to.
Scarborough RC, we need to big them up. They are the
Yes.
3 times national champions.
And still going strong.
Yes.
I definitely
I mean-
see them coming in on top again
And when you
this
consider
year.
how
Hopefully, if they have competition.
they feeder into the secondary schools and the success ripples on.
Yeah.
So big up to all the coaches, hard-working coaches, parents working behind the scene. You might watch them and see them there wondering what can they do, but the young charges that they motivate and inspire, you know, those are the ones who we celebrate. And again, we want to say thanks. We couldn't do it without you. Tobago Sports Live, our fans, our supporters, the encouragement you give you all, the support, and just that word and that watching, because we see the names, we see the views, and that means a lot to us, because you know it just takes the burden of what we do and make it easier to bear.
Yes. So, coming up next week, we have a deeper look into youth football. We'll have some of the coaches on set. So, next week, we are set to go a little longer. This week, because we don't have any guests, we're just introducing the program to you. It's going to be a little shorter this week, but next week we are definitely going to be going for the full hour. So we are going to be going from 8 to 9. So we'll have some coaches on set for you to get an inside look of our youth football, what is happening with our youths here in Tobago. We'll have some of the coaches of the top youth football teams here on set with us. So that is definitely one to look forward to. So make sure and send your comments, send your questions, whatever you want us to ask them, whatever information you would like to have. You can definitely send it to us and we'll do the interview.
And Cami, I assure you, also known as Cami, I assure you
Yes.
enjoy not being in the sun sometimes. How many sun and rain we have endured in.
You know, I am a sport fanatic, so I'm actually
But this is sport too.
missing. Yeah, but I'm missing the sun.
And by the way, we have to find out who her makeup artist is in it, so that she's well
Tammy's
decked up.
Touch. Hello, we mentioned
you
them.
know that she's well maked up for the day.
Yes.
Juan Moses, Tyreek Dennis, and Tahir Edwards. And for brains, Dimitri Lewis, he netted 2 goals, and the cricketer, Josh Telemark. So we actually had sports being played.
Yes,
Yes.
it has already begun.
And just to remind you that sporting activities have reopened, you have to exercise caution with
Yes.
sanitation when you note on our Facebook page, and we will surely follow it up. I'm just happy to be back. I'm just happy that back and you're seeing us and Tobago Sports Live, evolving sports in Tobago, and thanks to the crew. This is not a two-person show. We have a lot going on.
We have a lot coming up, so definitely stay tuned. So, guys, in wrapping up tonight's program and wrapping up tonight's episode, we want to thank you once again for joining us live. Anything you want to say, Clayton?
Well, I'm just happy. I'm happy, and we just want to get the fire burning. Let you know we are coming up. Drop us. Let us know that you are wrong. You're alive. Yes. Unfortunately, some people have passed on. We didn't get a chance to celebrate. So let us know that you are alive. Drop us a line. Tobago Sports Live.
Yes. So, guys, that's it for tonight. We want to encourage you to follow, share our page, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. You guys keep safe, keep sanitizing, continue to observe the restrictions set by the Ministry of Health. We do want to wish you a good night. I am Orlin Lincoln, and
I'm Clayton Clark.
And
remember,
Bishop's game showing tomorrow night.
Oh yes, we just got a word. That game from today with Brains versus Muscle tomorrow night will be premiering on Tobago Sports Live at 7 p.m. So look out for a second edition. Stay tuned. Evolving Sports in Tobago. That's it for today. Enjoy your evening and have a wonderful weekend. And see you next week.